I want to tell you about a conversation that happens every single day across America. It goes something like this. Someone is sitting across from a financial advisor. They are in their late 50s, maybe early 60s. They have worked hard their entire life. They saved when they could. They did most of the right things. And then the advisor pulls up their retirement account on the screen, and they see the number. And for a moment, it feels good. It feels like proof that the years of work meant something. And then the advisor says something that changes the entire mood of the room. He says, now just keep in mind, when you start withdrawing this money in retirement, every single dollar is going to be taxed as ordinary income. And the person across the desk gets very quiet because they never really thought about that part. The taxes in retirement. The idea that the account they spent 30 years building is not entirely theirs, that a significant portion of it already belongs to the IRS. They just do not know exactly how much yet. And then, almost always, they ask the same question. They say, is there anything I could have done differently? And the advisor says, yes, there was. It was called a Roth IRA. And the best time to have started one was 30 years ago. That conversation is happening right now to people all over this country. And the entire purpose of this video is to make sure it never happens to you. Here is the reality of how most Americans think about retirement savings. You open an account. Money goes in. You do not pay taxes on it right now, which feels great. The money grows for decades. And then, someday, in the future, when you are retired and gray-haired and sitting on a porch somewhere, you start taking the money out. And that is where the story most people tell themselves ends. But that is not where the story actually ends. Because the IRS has been patiently waiting this entire time. Every dollar that went into your traditional 401k or traditional IRA was never taxed. And the government does not forget that. When you start withdrawing in retirement, every single dollar comes out as ordinary income and gets taxed at whatever your tax rate is at that time. For many retirees, that tax bill in retirement is one of the biggest financial shocks of their lives. They saved $800,000. They feel wealthy, and then they discover that to actually spend $60,000 per year from that account, they need to withdraw $75,000 or $80,000 to cover the taxes. And they realize their retirement account is smaller than it looked, because a portion of every dollar in there was never really theirs to begin with. Now here's where the Roth IRA enters the picture. And here's why the people who discover it early consider it one of the best financial decisions of their lives. And the people who discover it late consider it one of their biggest regrets. Let me explain exactly what a Roth IRA is, Rowers. In the simplest possible terms, a Roth IRA is a retirement account with one rule that changes everything. You contribute money that has already been taxed, after-tax dollars. So when you put $200 into a Roth IRA this month, you already paid income tax on that $200 when you earned it. And in exchange for paying that tax now, something remarkable happens. Everything that money earns from this moment forward, every dollar of growth, every dividend, every gain over the next 10, 20, 30, or 40 years, is completely and permanently tax-free. When you retire and you start pulling money out of your Roth IRA, you pay zero tax. None. Not on the original contribution, not on the growth, not on any of it. Zero. Let me show you why that single word, zero, is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Say you are 25 years old. You open a Roth IRA and you contribute $200 per month. You invest it in a simple broad index fund averaging 8% annually. By the time you are 65, that $200 per month has grown to approximately $702,000. Now here's the question that should make your eyes go wide. How much of that $702,000 do you pay in taxes when you retire? Zero. Not a single dollar. Every cent of that $702,000 is yours, free and clear. The IRS cannot touch it. Now compare that to the same $200 per month in a traditional IRA, growing to the same $702,000. When you retire and start withdrawing, so depending on your tax bracket, you could owe somewhere between $105,000 and $175,000 in taxes on that money over your retirement years. Same contribution, same investment, same 40 years of growth. One account, $702,000 fully yours. Other account, $702,000 minus $140,000 in taxes, effectively $562,000. The difference between those two outcomes is not a small rounding error. It is $140,000. Just from choosing the right type of account to put your money in. But here is the part of the Roth IRA story that genuinely takes people's breath away once they understand it. It is not just about avoiding taxes on the money you put in. It is about avoiding taxes on the growth. Think about how compound interest works. You start with a small amount, it grows, and then that growth itself grows, and then the growth of the growth grows. Over decades, this creates an exponential curve that starts slow and then goes nearly vertical. With a traditional retirement account, every single layer of that compounding growth will eventually be taxed when you take it out. With a Roth IRA, none of it is taxed, ever. This means the Roth IRA does not just save you taxes on $200 per month. It saves you taxes on $702,000, because that is what $200 per month becomes over 40 years. And the tax you would have paid on $702,000 in ordinary income during retirement is an enormous number. Here's another way to think about it. Imagine you planted a seed. With a traditional IRA, the government taxes the harvest. They let you plant for free. But when you come to collect all those years of growth, they carry your ease. They take their cut. With a Roth IRA, you pay a small tax on the seed. Just the tiny seed. But the harvest, the entire enormous harvest after 40 years of compound growth, is yours completely. Would you rather pay tax on the seed or the harvest? Almost every time, paying tax on the seed is the better deal. Especially when you're young and your contributions are small and your tax rate is likely lower than it will be in the future. So if the Roth IRA is this powerful, why do most Americans discover it too late? There are 3 reasons, and they are all psychological. The first reason is present bias. When you have the option to put money into a traditional IRA and get a tax deduction right now, that feels immediately good. Your tax bill goes down this year. That is a concrete, visible reward that your brain can see and feel today. The Roth IRA gives you no tax break today. You pay full tax on your contribution right now. The reward in tax-free withdrawals in retirement is 30 or 40 years away. And your brain, wired to value the present far more than the future, naturally gravitates toward the option that feels good today, even if the other option makes you far wealthier in the long run. The second reason is confusion. The retirement account landscape in America is genuinely confusing. Traditional IRA, Roth IRA, 401k, Roth 401k, SEP IRA, Simple IRA, HSA. The average person hears these terms and their eyes glaze over. When everything is confusing, people default to whatever their employer set up automatically, which is almost always a traditional pre-tax option. The Roth IRA requires you to go out of your way, to open it separately, to research it, to choose it actively. And most people never take that step simply because nobody clearly explained why they should. The third reason is the most painful one. Most people learn about the Roth IRA for the first time from someone their own age who already has one. And by the time the conversation happens, they are often already in their 40s or even 50s. And while it is never too late to open a Roth IRA, the magic of it is greatest when time is on your side. The longer your money compounds tax-free, the more powerful the outcome. Every year you delay opening a Roth IRA is a year of tax-free compounding growth you can never get back. Here's the truth that almost nobody says out loud about the Roth IRA. It is not just a retirement account. It is a bet on your future tax rate. When you choose a Roth IRA, you are essentially saying, I believe taxes in the future are going to be higher than they are today. Or at least, I believe my personal income in retirement will put me in a high enough tax bracket that paying taxes now on small contributions is better than paying taxes later on a large account balance. And here's the thing about that bet. Looking at the trajectory of government spending, national debt, and the general direction of tax policy in America over the long term, betting that taxes will be higher in 30 years than they are today is not a crazy bet. It might actually be the smart one. But even setting aside tax predictions entirely, the Roth IRA offers something no other retirement account in America offers: certainty. With a Roth IRA, you know exactly what you're getting. You paid the taxes. The account is yours. The government already got their cut. There is no future uncertainty about what your tax bill will be in retirement. No anxiety about tax law, changes affecting your withdrawals. No complex required minimum distributions forcing you to withdraw money you do not need at 73. You know what you have. And all of it is yours. In a world of financial uncertainty, that kind of clarity is genuinely valuable. So what do you actually do with this right now? Step 1. Check if you are eligible. For 2024, the income limit to contribute to a Roth IRA is $146,000 for single filers and $230,000 for married couples filing jointly. If your income is below these thresholds, you can contribute directly to a Roth IRA right now. Step 2. Open one today. Not next week. Not after you figure out the perfect investment strategy. Today, you can open a Roth IRA in under 15 minutes through providers like Fidelity, Vanguard, or Schwab. All three offer excellent platforms with no account fees. Step 3. Contribute what you can up to the annual limit. For 2024, the maximum contribution is $7,000 per year, or $583 per month. If you cannot max it out immediately, contribute whatever you can. Even $50 per month in a Roth IRA started today is dramatically better than $0. Step 4. Choose a simple investment inside the account. Opening the Roth IRA is not enough. You must actually invest the money inside it. A total market index fund or an S&P 500 index fund is a simple, effective starting point used by millions of Americans. Step 5. Make it automatic. Set up a monthly automatic contribution so the money moves from your checking account into your Roth IRA on the same day every month without you having to think about it. Automation removes the willpower requirement from the equation entirely. And finally, if your income is above the Roth IRA limits, ask a financial professional about the Backdoor Roth IRA strategy. It is a completely legal approach that allows higher income earners to access the Roth IRA regardless of income. But make sure you work with a qualified tax professional on that one. Let me bring you back to that conversation I described at the beginning. The person sitting across from the financial advisor, looking at their retirement account number, feeling proud, and then feeling something shift when they hear the words taxed as ordinary income. That moment does not have to be your moment. The difference between that person and someone who discovered the Roth IRA early is not intelligence. It is not income. It is not discipline or sacrifice or any of the things people usually credit to financial success. It is simply information. Received at the right time. The Roth IRA is not complicated. It is not exclusive. It is not only for wealthy people or financial experts. It is a retirement account available to almost every working American, sitting right there, open and waiting. Most people just never had anyone explain it to them clearly. Until now. You now know something that millions of Americans in their 50s and 60s are desperately wishing they had known in their 20s and 30s. The question is simply what you do with that information today. Because the best time to open a Roth IRA was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. Think about that. If this video made the Roth IRA finally click for you, share it with someone in their 20s or 30s who needs to hear this before it is too late. And subscribe to Wealth Decoding for more videos that explain the financial tools most Americans discover way too late.